This is our, I get your attention sign. Does that transfer to middle school? Awesome, we're off to a great start. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I hope this message finds you well. As we gather here today, I am filled with both excitement and a touch of nostalgia as we embark on this significant journey together, the transition from lower school to middle school. To the families of our vibrant fifth graders, welcome. We thank you for your partnership with us in your child's education here at Carroll. The transition from lower school to middle school marks a pivotal moment in our students' lives. It's a time of exploration, discovery, and newfound independence. As educators, our goal is to ensure that this transition is as smooth and enriching as possible for both our students and our families. Throughout this morning's meeting, Allison and the middle school team will delve into the various aspects of middle school life, from academic expectations to extracurricular opportunities, from navigating the social landscape to fostering resilience and adaptability. Our dedicated team of educators and staff are here to support you every step of the way. We understand the significance of this transition, and we are committed to providing a nurturing environment where your child can thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. Together, let's embrace this journey with optimism, curiosity, and a spirit of collaboration. Our partnership is integral to your child's success, and I'm confident that by working hand in hand, we can empower our students to reach their fullest potential. Once again, welcome and thank you for entrusting us with the privilege of guiding your child through this transformative period. I look forward to the wonderful experiences and achievements that lie ahead for our soon-to-be newest sixth graders. Thank you. Allison.
Thank you, Deetra. And my name is Allison West. I am the Deetra of the middle school. And I have lovingly chosen to live in the land of middle school since about 2001. I absolutely love this age range, and I am so excited to welcome you on this wild ride. It is so fun. So our goal today, we are going to overview our sixth grade program, just as Deetra introduced. You're going to hear from some sixth graders because they actually will have way better answers to your questions than we will. And then we're going to take a tour, and we're fortunate that some of our sixth graders are going to join us on that tour. So our goal today is to only be standing here talking to you for about 30 minutes or so. Our student ambassadors will join us. They'll share some nuggets of wisdom, and then we will head off onto a tour. Sound good? All right, great. I want to take some time just to introduce some of my middle school colleagues here who also love the land of middle school. We'll start with Kwame.
Hello everyone, my name is Kwame Kappa, Middle School Dean of Students. Welcome, thank you all for coming.
And hi, I'm Alyssa Benway. I'm the assistant middle school head at the Glens of middle school.
Hi, I'm Allison Harmon. I'm the counseling director, so I have the pleasure of traveling across all three divisions each week to lead the counseling team.
Mike Casino, I am the head of the sixth grade.
Oh, thanks. I'm Christine Fury. I'm the sixth grade counselor.
The maid.
I'm Mike Mess. I'm
Oh, sorry.
sorry.
The Colleen. Parisi.
I'm Coach Metz, Mike Metz. I'm the athletic director and physical education.
I'm Jen St. John. Welcome. I'm a 6th grade ELA teacher, 8th grade LFA teacher, and also the 5th to 6th liaison.
I should have mentioned that we will be sharing these slides. We put our pictures on there because, you know, we like to be as visual, and then you'll have these as a reminder so that when you come back, either this spring or certainly this fall, you'll remember who we are. But we'll remind you, so don't worry about that. So, as I mentioned, this time period is some of the most exciting time from a developmental perspective. The amount of neurological and physical development that your children are about to embark on is truly exciting. It's messy, but it's a lot of fun. And you're going to find, and perhaps your children are already starting to dip their toe in this. They're seeking more autonomy, more independence, as Dietra mentioned. They're starting to navigate the social landscape in ways that feel unfamiliar, feel a little challenging, maybe are exciting. But what's really important to understand about middle schoolers is their brains are still in a process of development. And for middle school and into high school in particular, that frontal lobe region, which guides all of their executive functioning, their emotional regulation, their ability to think critically, is still very much in development. And what I hope you walk away with today is an understanding of how our 6th grade sets up our students in a way that really helps them develop in profound ways. And as Dietra mentioned, our partnership with you all is so essential in helping ensure that that development is optimized and that we can use every ounce of our precious time. And so our greatest gift, really, that we can give our students in the middle school, in addition to the reading instruction and the writing instruction and the math and all of the academics, is to really help build resilience. And Dietra mentioned that as well. And I don't know, how many of you are familiar with Dr. Becky? Okay, I'm a big fan. Dr. Becky talks about this if you want more information. She talks about how, you know, resilience, when we say the word resilience, we think of it as in a positive way, but really if you think about a time when you had to learn something new, has anybody had to learn something new recently? Yeah. It actually feels terrible in the moment because there's so much uncertainty, you're not feeling confident, you're questioning, why the heck am I doing this? And it isn't until you get to that space of known and competence and success and confidence that you realize the benefit of that resilience or frustration tolerance. And so I want to share with you something that's really important to us in the middle school, and we really lean heavily into this as students enter into 6th grade. And I hope that as we share the bits and pieces of our 6th grade program with you, you can see how we embrace this process. So, this is the learning pit. This is actually not something that we created here. This is a long-standing understanding of learning founded in research. And because, you know, we're at Carroll School, we love language, the word pit has a lot of different meanings. I put some of them up there. Armpit, because, you know, we're middle school. And what Dr. Becky would say about the learning process is there's this space between known and unknown that can feel really messy and really uncomfortable. And that's the learning pit. And that is where our middle schoolers are sitting a lot of the time. We also sometimes refer to this as productive struggle. And when I say that the greatest gift we can give our middle schoolers is helping them build their resilience and their frustration tolerance, it's because it feels counterintuitive. And I will just say, I am a mom of 2 teenagers, so I am in this with you. I'm saying this just as much for myself as I am for all of you. Many of us want to rescue our children from feeling that sense of discomfort. And what we aim to do in the middle school is partner with you to really help them tolerate it and to teach them strategies for managing the discomfort so that we can show them what it feels like on the other side. And that's really hard. And they actually can't do it alone because remember, their brains are not fully formed. That frontal lobe is still in development. And so the greatest job we have is to help them continue to build that frontal lobe system so that when they are making decisions and having to think critically, we're there to support them in doing so. Not to rescue them from it, but to really support them in doing so. So I hope that as you hear my colleagues talk a little bit about the ways in which we've structured the 6th grade program in particular, I want you to be thinking about where does this sit within this learning pit? And how can I as a parent be a partner in this process? So I like to think of the learning pit more as like a service spot for a race car. I mean, really you could actually connect that learning pit to any one of these, depending upon how you're experiencing the pit. It could be an art pit, especially for middle schooler, I suppose, right? But it really is that magical spot where learning happens. All right, I'm gonna now turn it over to my colleague Jen St. John, who's gonna talk just a little bit about how we're building this bridge.
Hi again. We have many opportunities for students to build the bridge and for families to build the bridge between the lower school and the middle school. One of them is this meeting. There are many connections between the lower and middle school academic leaders. And there are teachers talking and visiting classrooms, as well as 7th grade mentors go to the lower school and connect with the 5th graders multiple times as we finish up this year. And then the first week of school, Mike Copacino, the 6th grade leader, has put so many things in place for being mindful of, say, the first 3 days of 6th grade and what that can feel like, and building the community to then get started with all the academics. And there's also the 5th graders coming to the middle school on May 23rd, and then there's this role that I mentioned, the 5th to 6th grade liaison, where I've already been meeting with the 5th grade team leader to talk about what are the differences and how can we bridge that gap. And also at the beginning of next year, there'll be many lunch and learn opportunities that continue to give you additional information, the lay of the land of middle school. Thank you.
So, in spite of all the things that are going to feel different, a lot of things are really going to feel the same. It's the same population with the same types of kids that are just smart kids who learn differently. 80% of the kids are coming from the lower school this year, so it'll be a lot of new kids, but also a lot of familiarity. The teaching practices and training are totally consistent, as well as the basics of scheduling and programming. Kids are super excited though, because we do also add history and science into the rotation of school classes, which is always a very exciting development. Finally, the dress code expectations, we've worked to make those more and more consistent, and also the homework will be moved up, but only ever so slightly. The way that we put it is like 6th grade is meant to be 5th grade plus a day, and then another day and another day. We do an orientation to start, but kids are generally like pretty excited just to get into classes because they're usually ready to go. And yeah, so it's really meant to be a consistent experience from lower to middle school.
All right, so this is our typical middle school schedule, and we call it a waterfall schedule, because the students will have the same blocks, but at different times during the day. As we all know, math class in the morning might look much different than math class in the afternoon. And so we definitely give students that opportunity to showcase, how they receive information at different points during the day. We are a responsive classroom school, and so we start and end the day in homerooms, where students will be with their advisors, working on building community, creating joy, and just emphasizing that engaging students throughout the day will have their regular classes: history, science, English, math, Maltese. They'll have their focus area classes. And we utilize flex lots, usually sometimes for community building activities, but also to build those student and human skills. So they may have a health and wellness at some point during the year, or several points during the year. Foundations for brave conversations, or they may just have a fun activity during flex, depending on the grade. You'll notice that students do not go more than 2 blocks without having a break, which I think is really important for their brains and their bodies and their development, and they just need a break sometimes. At the end of the day, students will be with their homerooms once again, with their advisors during what we like to call No Child Left Unorganized, and this prepares them for going home and doing their work. Unless they have an after-school activity, we have a very robust after-school enrichment program, sports, founders, makerspace, so they have other opportunities at the end of the day as well to continue some of their skills. So, we can talk more about this later, but that is the typical schedule.
Okay, so we definitely like to use a whole child approach, which is just our way of thinking that when our kids sort of come in those school doors at the beginning of the day, they don't just bring their awesome brains, they're bringing all of themselves, they're bringing their interests and their identities and their lived experiences and their communities and their neighborhoods. And so we really want to think holistically about how do we really affirm and grow all parts of our awesome students. So some of the ways that we do that, as Kwame mentioned, we have Responsive Classroom. That's a national evidence-based, it's really an approach and a philosophy to learning that blends academic and social emotional learning. So as we talked about in the schedule, we start out each day with structures like advisory time. We do activities that both foster community building, but also really teach some of those social emotional skills that are so important for learning and just being in relationship with each other. We also have, and this is something of the last sort of 5 years, we've really incorporated restorative practices to Carroll. And this is really a way to think about both building community, but also when things go wrong, when there are situations that maybe create some sort of harm or negative impact, how do we really use those as growth and learning opportunities, and how do we work to repair those relationships and give some pathways back to that community that's kind of the center of everything. We also have a sort of a discipline and behavior accountability system, and this is a way that, when appropriate, can kind of blend with that so that kids are really feeling our support throughout their day, including when they or when we may make steps that sort of impact somebody else. We have a health and wellness program throughout the middle school. It's in each grade. It lives sort of mostly in our flex block. In 6th grade, we really focus a lot on self-regulation and self-care. We use the zones of regulation as sort of our cornerstone program that really just helps kids build awareness of what's going on in your brain, in your body at any given time, what's kind of being asked of you in the classroom or in the milieu or out on the playground. And if you're not in that optimal state for learning or for interacting, how do you use skills and strategies to make a shift? Carroll School has amazing rally points and traditions. Many of you have probably come for Fall Festival. That's sort of our cornerstone one. Some of them are universal. There are some great rally points and traditions throughout 6th grade. The 6th grade team is really one that has a lot of fun together, and that translates to the kids. So there are some very beloved activities throughout the year that they'll enjoy. And then we're really fortunate at Carroll School to have a counseling team and have folks that are dedicated at each division. And in the middle school, we actually have a counselor for each grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. So I'll hand it over to my colleague, awesome counselor, Christine, to just talk a little bit about what you do with the 6th graders.
Good morning again. So I am embedded in the lives of the 6th
graders. My office is on the second floor amongst their classrooms, and conveniently located right next to the bathrooms. So I see them very frequently. The support in 6th grade takes on a variety of different roles. I'm in classrooms, I'm out at recess with them, I'm on field trips, I meet with students individually, small groups, and I work very closely with families, outside providers, basically anything that you may need or want, I try to provide. Thank you.
All right, here's a quiz. Does anyone know the Carroll School, middle school motto or the framework for student life? It might be an animal that doesn't work here. Yes. All right, you win. All right. So, and if you want to remember anything or memorize anything today, if your child asks you what you learned, you can tell them and see if you remember the HAWKS acronym. That kind of is the framework for our school and how we frame different activities that we're doing, having conversations with our students, and there'll be a quiz in about 10 minutes to see if you got that. Okay? Honesty, or you guys want to say it? Honesty, accountability, work ethic, kindness, and safety. So the things that you would want, out of your students or out of your child, and we want out of our students. And we as adults model these behaviors as well. And these are just some examples, and this right here, does anyone know what this is? No? This is where their phones go when they come to school. This is called the Yonder Pouch, a little part of student life that, is an accountability piece to you. As you're, walking through middle school life, that you're not on your phone, and you're, thinking about what your role is, what your job is to do while you're here at school. So these get locked, and then they have a fancy magnet that they unlock them with as they leave the school.
Ms. Benway,
Yes?
what if your child doesn't have a phone?
Then you don't really need a Yonder Pouch, but if they want to pretend they have a phone, you can still have a Yonder Pouch. They're a phone in there, and put it in their backpack.
But also more seriously too, giving a lay of the land, I would say slightly fewer than half of the kids had devices they needed Yonder Pouches for at the beginning of the year. So if your child is saying that they're the only one without a device, that is misinformed.
False. That's right.
Misinformed.
Yes, and watches can go in there too. And then these are just some examples of some of the more fun and engaging social activities that we do during the day, during the year. And you can see we have some challenges. You can see our student up there dressed in a design by their homeroom that we had recently. I think you guys were all dressed up. Some of you were dressed up. And we have a lot of clubs, different affinity groups. And then Student Council runs a school dance that we're having
March 20th.
March 20th.
Mardi Gras.
A Mardi Gras theme this year. So you can look forward to some of those things next year.
As Mike mentioned, we do truly consider 6th grade, 5th grade, plus a day, plus a week, plus a month, until we can officially call them 6th graders. But some of the ways that we may feel a little different, or not so much different, but we're advancing, more students. So right now, the 5th grade is about 64 students. Your student will be one of approximately 80 students. There is a tremendous effort to have students setting goals and reflecting. In that flex block time for 6th grade, there is a curriculum called Tool Time, where students are directly and explicitly taught a variety of skills to support executive functioning development, that frontal lobe, where students can apply for a variety of tools, and they have to actually go through an application process, check in with their teachers, have direct conversations, receive some authentic feedback, set meaningful goals, and it really sets them up for the future goal setting they'll be doing in 7th and 8th grade, and frankly beyond. Our conferences in the middle school also are a firm 30 minutes. And I mention that because I know in the lower schools sometimes conferences can be a little longer, and so just to be fully transparent, we're We're going from 164 students in the lower school to 240 students in the middle school with the same amount of conference time. So it's just sort of like it is what it is. But although we have to maintain that 30-minute conference time, I do want to let you know our door is always open. And so if that conference feels unfinished, if that conversation does not feel like it's come to a close, we are always willing and able to schedule a follow-up. Our focus area model. In the middle school, it continues to grow and develop in the ways that our students continue to grow and develop. If you come to my focus area talk next month, I'm going to be sharing some really exciting data that our data analyst Louisa French has just shared with me that shows as students master a certain amount of Orton-Gillingham concepts, it leads us to be able to see more fluency in their reading and allows us to have them learn more collaboratively. And so we have the privilege and the honor of being able to offer students more opportunities in very small groups to learn with a peer or two peers. In fact, I teach a 6th grade focus area. I think 3 of my students are here now. Raise your hands. I have a trio of 6th graders, and we're working on Orton-Gillingham. And so our focus area model does expand. We have more pairs, trios, and as students move on to 7th and 8th grade and their skills continue to grow, we have math focus areas, we have writing focus areas, reading comprehension focus areas. Mike mentioned homework. It is very consistent, it will feel very similar, and it will grow a little bit. But we do that incrementally over time, and we support students with managing the demands of homework. You can actually, that'll be a good question for you to ask our student ambassadors. Another change, or exciting change, is every student is given a Chromebook. So students, when they arrive in 6th grade, are now the owners of their own Chromebook, which they are responsible for over their duration of the middle school. And then when they leave middle school, they take it with them. And that means that they continue to have access to all of their graphic organizers, their resources, any of their documents that they created over their time here at Carroll, they get to take with them as they embark onto their next school adventure. Coach. The other way that middle school continues to expand is through our extended day program. And I'm going to have Coach Kometz explain to you the ways that our middle school extended day opens up a little bit for our middle schoolers.
Thank you, Allison. So, I don't feel comfortable. I was told I have to go like this. Athletics is a part of our after-school program. It's a large part, but it's only just a part. In the extended day program or enrichment program, it's similar to the lower school, broken up into 3 segments where we have fall, winter, and spring sessions. Unlike the lower school where you sign up and you do a variety of activities that day, we sign up for a specific activity at the middle school. Whether it is art, pottery, bounders, or athletics, or supervised study, you know, those child will go through that activity every day or 2 days a week, whatever they choose. Athletics is one of the huge parts. In this fall, we had over 170 kids participate in athletics just in the fall. That's more than the lower school children that are there. So, which is pretty amazing that we have enough staff willing to coach and participate in our athletic program. As you saw, we offer a variety of different activities. We added volleyball this year. Girls athletics, thank you to Caitlin Clark, took off this year. We had added volleyball with 40 girls playing volleyball, interested in playing volleyball. Soccer, cross country, flag football, ice hockey, basketball, lacrosse, pickleball new this year, taking off, track and field, ultimate frisbee. Those are all part of golf. All part of our extended day it just keeps growing. So if you have any questions about the extended day program, I'm always available to take your call, take your email. Did I leave anything on? I think that was it.
Well, I don't know if there's anything you want to say, but other than athletics, we offer a wide variety of additional offerings as well.
We just ended our performing arts. We had a great Beauty and the Beast presentation. 2 nights sold out show, standing room only, up in the hallway.
Did you want to do a rendition of the?
Oh, no. How much you be my guest?
Pops?
So, all right. Thank you.
All right, I would like to ask at this point our student ambassadors to come on up.
You can sit on that. I can consider it sit on risers. But what I was going to have to do to have folks introduce themselves is you're just going to say your name and one thing that you think parents should know before they go to Carroll. Yes, exactly.
Hi, I'm Babe, and one thing I think you guys should know is the teachers are really easy to talk to.
My name is Alice, and one thing I think you should know is teachers can help you with homework.
Hi, my name is Kevin, and one thing I want to let you know is get involved in sports.
Hi, I'm Gabe, and I don't have a card, so.
Hi, I'm Sydney, and don't be afraid to ask questions, just try to have fun with it.
Hi, I'm Mac, and it's easy to get around campus. It's easier than anything.
Hi, I'm Avery. Coming to 6th grade isn't as hard as you think it is.
Hi, I'm Nico, and teachers really help you slide into homework, and it's not all at once.
Hi, I'm Bennett, and you should be inclusive and invite others. I'm Tucker, and it's like you get like kind of a lot of homework, and you can do it like throughout the day at like lunch, study, or NCOU.
Excellent. Before we start our tour, we have about 5 minutes. And are there any questions that you would have for real life 6th grade students? Yes.
My 5th grader would like to know whether or not you have to go between buildings or during the day for classes.
Yeah. It depends what classes you have.
Most of your academic classes are in like one building, but then for like multis, you would go to like a different building. But they give you enough time, so like it's not rushed.
Thank you.
Do you get to eat lunch together, or do you stay with your own room?
Yeah, it's like a cafeteria kind of, but they don't serve food.
Someday.
No day.
No day.
Well, what do we do on Thursdays? What happens? We sell pizza. That is a very popular day.
Any other questions?
Well, can somebody, where do you eat when the weather's bad?
Inside.
Where inside?
Right here.
Okay, and then where do you eat when the weather's really awesome?
Outside.
Where?
On the back patio.
On the back patio. Do you think we should show them where the back patio is on the tour?
I think we will.
Yes.
How many of you play after-school sports? And then how many of you just do the extracurricular activities?
The other extended day, like art founders,
Study hall.
study
There's
hall.
like, in spring one, there's like a lot of other art and stuff. Yeah, like on Fridays, there's like activities that you can do.
So are the sports every day of the week?
Most of them, except for like
Monday through Thursday.
Monday through Thursday, and then Friday is like extracurricular adventure day?
Yes. You also have skiing.
You also have skiing.
That's today.
Did you do multiple at once during the week, like which program, like a sport and
Yes, so the question is, can you do more than one extended day? And the answer to that, for the most part, is yes. If you opt in for athletics, depending on the season and how many teams there are, those run either 2 or 4 days a week. Hockey's the only exception. They will have, because ice time, I'm told, is kind of like hard to get. So Fridays they do They will play hockey on Fridays. Golf is 2 days a week. Study hall is all 4 days, and like I'm running a jewelry making, but that's only 1 day on Tuesdays. It all varies. And we're very flexible.
Study hall is also in lunch.
Can you talk about that, Maeve?
Yeah, so study hall, so for lunch, you have choices either going outside if the weather's nice, or like indoor recess if like the weather's like yucky. But you can also, it's for lunch and recess for study hall. And then on Thursdays, they're also like a girls group, boys group. So like there's like clubs too for lunch.
Looks like we've got another question back here, and then another here.
Do you get to interact with the other grades much, or just sixth graders?
Anybody want to answer that?
We have 8th grade mentors, and they like do every Thursday. We do like activities, like there's a girls' club and a boys' club.
Sorry, keep going.
And yeah.
Did somebody want to talk about hawk's nests? What's a hawk's nest?
Hawk's Nest is like you meet with like there's like 4 kids from like each grade, or like 4 kids. There's like one from like every grade, and then you just meet with them on Fridays on Flex sometimes.
We have time for maybe 1 or 2 more questions. Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay. Is there a spark offering before school, or what do you do if you're here a little before end of year?
So you kind of just go to the gym. It's like you don't have to pay for it or anything.
That's the important
And you kind of just chill in the gym. It's like bathrooms.
Where else can you go before school if the gym is not your jam? Anybody know? Go ahead, Maeve.
You can go to the makerspace, which is just like makers. I don't know. It's like you can make cool stuff like light boxes. So like if like you go here, kids will bring home these light boxes, which like it's like a plastic thing and like.
Do you think we should show them the makerspace on our tour?
Yes.
Okay.
And what time is that?
7:30.
And yes.
So I heard a rumor that if you are late to class, you have to stay in at lunch or recess and do the work that you missed during class. Does that happen?
No. It's like this thing For Spark, you have to get there before 8 in order to.
Yeah, 7:30.
And we give lots of opportunities and support to get to class on time. So the only instances where that would happen is if it's like becoming willful as opposed to not having the skills, because it's far between buildings. Sometimes we have both high expectations but reasonable expectations. So
It also does align. So we think about like discipline or like teaching discipline as a framework and being really direct and explicit. And as I mentioned before, remember the frontal lobe, we really value giving lots of repetition, reminders, opportunities for practice, and we also value logical consequences. So if there is a situation where a student is just really struggling to get to class on time, yes, we try to understand what is the impetus, what's happening, what is causing, we also, you've probably heard us say before, behavior is communication. What is this communicating to us? So we do seek to understand where the lagging skill is to help build that lagging skill. And if it's a pattern, we may begin to have students make up that missing time so they begin to understand the impact of that pattern. But we're not in favor of just like punishment, right? Like, do we give punishments?
Well, there's recess.
Yeah.
You just have to redo your homework. Like if you miss it, like some teachers let you off a little easy, but other teachers are like, just have to do it.
Yeah.
When you can do it.
I did hear Max say, well, there is recess recall, so I will just give a quick little definition of what a recess recall is. So we, as I said, are very direct and explicit about our expectations. We spend a lot of time at the beginning of the year going over what we call our HOPS guide. It's a student-friendly guide to our handbook, basically, where we're very, very explicit We give a tremendous amount of support, repetition, redirection, reminders to help students meet those expectations. Because remember, like, we want to help them wrestle with it. We want to help them rumble around in the challenge to meet expectation. And a recess recall is an opportunity for us to name when a student is not meeting an expectation, and they are then, they earn a recess recall, which means they need to go and sign a book that just notes, like, this is the expectation I'm struggling to meet. And it's really just like a reminder. It's a reminder so that next time, and actually we've had kids say, like, stop in their tracks and be like, I don't want to get a recess recall. And it's sort of like, it's like that stop and think before you do the thing or don't do the thing. And you know, there's other ways that we support students in their reflection and helping them build capacity for meeting expectations, but no matter how much we say this is not a punishment, we just heard it feels like a punishment. And you know, a little bit, a logical consequence can feel like a punishment at times.
And it's not the whole recess, it usually takes about 90 seconds. But the goal when it was being developed was to be annoying and to create a moment for reflection as opposed to being like something that would be too big a thing for the kids to do. It's meant to be just a small correction, and then everyone can move on.
I think we should head out on tours. What do you guys think?
Let's do it.
Yeah? Okay. So here's what we're going to do, and I forgot to get a